Still 2 minutes left to start. Hello, ma'am. Hello, everybody, ma'am. Chennai, from Chennai, you are connecting. Ma'am, you are all from same school. Good evening, Marina. Oh, all from Chennai. Hello, Anuji. So I think we should start now. People are there from Chennai. Sanchita, ma'am, good evening. Let me start my slide share. We all know today's topic is anger management. Anger is already in the air. The stress is in the air. We are living in a competitive world, and but naturally this is happening. Everyone is stressed out. Everyone is frustrated, and but naturally everyone is venting out. But the way of venting out is aggression. It needs to be controlled very much. It's time now that we should control it. So let me start my slide presentation. Just allow me. So what all topics we would be covering today? These are the topics. We would understand what anger is. How do I understand when I am angry? Because people don't really understand when the symptoms start arousing. Is anger a good or a bad thing? What are the causes of anger? What it caused to me? What consequences it could lead to? And what are some myths and facts related to anger? And then remedial measures we would be doing, and some hands-on exercises to have some hands-on experience. Just a minute, I need to add certain people to the room. So they are in the waiting room. So now, as per American Psychological Association, anger is an emotion characterized by antagonism towards someone or something you feel has deliberately done you wrong. It is basically something that you think that something is painful to you, something is annoying to you, things didn't happen your way, and which leads you to anger. Someone is unmuted. Please check your audio. So it is basically a painful emotion associated with pain. Whenever something doesn't happen according to us, we just resort to getting into this feeling of anger. Pain associated with anger triggering thought. It is also a social emotion. Always it is targeted towards somebody. I would like someone to tell me whether when you are angry, is it really anger that you feel, or is it something else that you hide behind your anger? Can someone from the audience please tell?
Frustration.
All right. And sometimes we are fearful or we are guilty, or we have we are anxious or we are nervous, but we don't want to show it to our peers or to others in the environment. So what we resolve to do is we show anger. It is a substitute emotion basically, which the actual emotion we try to hide out. Now, how do I know when I am angry? So I want you all to do an exercise right now, a visualization exercise. I want you all to close your eyes for a minute, go into a situation that in that situation you became extremely angry. From a recent past or from a remote past, it doesn't matter. Just think of the situation that made you really angry. Please close your eyes for a few seconds and go into that situation. If you are you all into that situation, just feel where, in which body part your anger is exhibited, in which body part you are feeling it. Is it your hands? Is it your head, your stomach, any body part? Are you clenching your teeth right now? Just feel which body part your anger is displaying. Now please open your eyes. Please write in the chat box. Which body part could you see it? When in angry mode, a person may be rubbing his head, cupping their fist with their other hand. They may be pacing. They may get sarcastic at others, losing your sense of humor. They act abusive or in an abrasive manner. They crave for a drink or a smoke or other substances that relax them. So these are certain signs, and there are more signs of this. There are more physical signs. For example, clenching of jaws, grinding your teeth, headaches, stomach aches. These are the physical signs where this anger is exhibited. Rapid heart rate, increased palpitations, sweaty palms, clenched fists, feeling hot in the neck, sudden dry mouth, stuttering, muscle tensing, face turns pale or red. Apart from these physical signs that are shown before, when we actually come into action and show our anger to others. Emotionally, what we feel like getting away from that situation. We feel very irritated. We feel sad and depressed. We are guilty. We are resentful. We are anxious. We feel like striking out verbally or physically. So these are certain emotions that are inside us, and those were the physical signs that are aroused first, and then we actually come into an action of showing our anger. So the idea to understand is that the moment you see those physical signs, you become aware of your physical signs and your mental signs, you can control your anger then and there only. Is it a good thing? Can anybody tell me, is it a good thing? What do you think? Is it good or is it bad? Come on, let it be an interactive session.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
It is not a good thing, definitely, but sometimes what happens is that while showing this, then the things start working also at times. It has been seen.
Yes, you are right.
But for me, health-wise, it is not right, because when I get angry, then definitely it's my head starts paining and it's there. But then the thing starts getting better also at times. Not always, but at times.
Very right. You're right. The benefits are temporary. You get your things done at that moment, but these benefits are temporary. They are long-lasting damages associated with it. But many a times, for example, sometimes maybe a peer to a child or our colleagues may challenge us in certain situations, saying that you cannot do this thing, and you feel angry inside. When you hold your anger inside and you perform that task, then it is a kind of motivating also to find solutions to your problems or maybe for your growth. So in that manner, if you are taking the challenges in your head, then it may be good for you. But if you are hurting others, you are humiliating others, or you are stressing out, then it may hamper your physical health as well as your mental health, as well as it affects your relationships as well, both in both your career wise as well as personal relations. So the excessive anger leads to high blood pressure. The physical changes are associated with it. You cannot think straight, and your memory is affected. Now let us see what are causes of anger. As we already discussed in the starting, the stress is there. Everybody is stressed. It's a competitive world, so expectations from the workplace, from the domestic problems, there may be a lack of self-confidence, and so you are stressed. There may be an expectation of academic performance, or you are guilty of doing something wrong. There could be some family issues. Your children are not cooperating, your family is not cooperating. You have high expectations from your children. You have some financial issues. You are bearing certain losses. You have scarcity of money. You are stressed in your life, and so you are not able to keep yourself happy. You feel irritated all the time. That and you went out being aggressive or lashing out at others whosoever comes in your way. Even on roads, we see people are really angry, behaviorally angry. They are honking their cars like mad and shouting at others. So people are joining in. Intoxication is another reason. People who are habitual of getting intoxicated, if they don't get it one day, they just are not able to bear it, and they start lashing out at others. There are many cases of domestic violence as well. You must have seen during this COVID, the domestic violence was very much there, and the people were really hurting and harming each other in their families. People with certain mental disorders also tend to be hyper. For example, in case of depression, OCD, ADHD, ODD, bipolar disorder, IED, intermittent explosive disorder, and grief. These people have a tendency to become aggressive now and then, and so people dealing with these people have to take control of the situations, or they need regular training. Now let us understand what consequences it leads to. We have discussed our physical health is affected. You may lead into the certain lifestyle disorders, heart disease, diabetes. Your immune system is weakened. The more you get angry, the more your white blood cells are damaged, and that leads to your less immunity. You are overthinking, so that leads to insomnia, and there is high BP. Then your mental health is also affected. There is loss of energy. You cannot think straight. There is cloudy thinking. There is lack of concentration, stress. You are always stressed. You go into depression, and then many other mental health problems, and they can last longer. And it really takes a long time to recover back. By the time you realize, a lot of damage has been done. What are some other consequences? Your career is hampered. If you are doing some constructive criticism, or you are into heated debate at your workplace for a project or something, you are having some creative differences. Till that time, it is healthy. Otherwise, if you are lashing out at your seniors or supervisors or your colleagues or clients, then it is really not going to help you. You may get fired very soon, or people will not feel comfortable around you. Your family relationships, वो जो बोलते हैं ना कि रहीमन धागा प्रेम का तोड़ो मत चिपकाए, टूटे तो फिर ना जुड़े, जुड़े गांठ पड़ जाए. अभी relationships, the scars that are there, that are long lasting, they never go away. People don't feel comfortable in your presence, howsoever you try to make them. I hope you understand Hindi, people from Chennai. So now we will be covering some. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ मैम, हिंदी के अध्यापक ही हैं हम.
अच्छा, बहुत अच्छे.
जी मैम, थैंक यू.
चलिए तो कुछ मिथ्स देख लेते हैं.
जी.
First myth is, I shouldn't hold in my anger. It's healthy to vent and let it out. And the fact is, outbursts and tirades only fuel the fire and reinforce your anger problem. Another myth is, anger, aggression, and intimidation help me earn respect and get what I want. But the fact is, respect doesn't come from bullying others. Others will be more willing to listen to you and accommodate your needs if you communicate in a respectful way. Another myth, I can't help myself. Anger isn't something you can control. It is uncontrollable. Fact, you can't always control the situation you are in or how it makes you feel, but you can control how to express your anger. Even if someone is provoking you, you always have a choice about how to respond. You always can think of a situation in which you can behave in a proper manner rather than getting provoked so easily. Because if the people would know that you can be provoked that easily, then you would become their soft target. Don't forget, anger and aggression come from what I have learned from the environment, how I think, what are my thoughts, what is my belief system, my level of arousal. And fixing anger takes learning new skills. This is tough. So not everybody gets into learning new skills. Changing my thinking and controlling my arousal. Now let us see some remedial measures. Remedial measures could be relaxation techniques. So the relaxation techniques you must all be understanding. This may be breathing, some exercises. Jacobson's muscle relaxation exercises are also there. Then the behavior therapy done by psychologists and counselors. Another is taking medications. If you are really hyper, you cannot control it on your own, then you may need medications. And that too, associated with counseling and behavior therapy, can work wonders. You can also do certain anger management exercises at home if you are able to control them yourself. Then you can get associated with some support groups as well, wherein you can learn from seeing others also. I want you to take pen and paper and please write down what we are doing. First step is explore what's behind your anger. I want you all to understand yourself right now. You write about yourself only. What makes you angry? So the first thing is, do you have a hard time compromising? Are you in a habit of getting angry because you don't know any other way? You have seen that in your family system where you have grown up, and you have seen that becoming the loudest and most demanding, your demands will be fulfilled very easily. So you find it the only way. Or the second is, you view different opinions as a personal challenge. You cannot take others' opinion positively. You have a fragile ego. Please write down what suits you best for yourself. Another is, do you have trouble expressing emotion other than anger? See that we talked about the substitute anger. Anger is a substitute emotion. It is this way. And so you don't want to actually show the real emotion, but you hide it or cover it with your anger. Is your anger coming from that? Or you have negative thought patterns. You're always negative. You think negative, you overgeneralize things, you jump to conclusions, You look for things to get upset about, overlooking anything positive, or you're always playing the blame game to the situation or to the other person. So these are the 4 kinds where you are supposed to find out where your anger comes from. Please write down for yourself. I'll give you a few seconds. If you have written, we'll move further. Chancellor Public School, Dehradun. Sunita Chandra, good evening, ma'am. Teacher, depends on the situation. I can see the chat because so many people are admitting, so I don't. Can't tolerate carelessness. Right. So these are certain weaknesses that we have, but we can control them with our awareness. So once we will be aware where our anger is coming from and what are our triggers, so we'll be able to manage situation then and there only rather than dumbing it into action. So should we move further to the second tip? I'm moving further to the second tip. Now identify your triggers. What are the places, what are the things, as you've said, carelessness. You already know what is that makes you angry. Look at the regular routine and try to identify activities, times of days, people, places, and situations that trigger your angry or irritable feelings. Someone is unmuted. Is unmuted. Please mute yourself. Muted. So please find out what triggers you. There may be certain group of people with whom you always get into fight, or there may be certain other signs, for example, the traffic commutes, honking of horns, or maybe in the presence of certain people, you get angry, or there may be your friends or family members who are always instigating you towards against somebody in your family. You may not be realizing that, but you must be lashing out at the other person against whom you are instigated. So these are certain triggers. If you would understand those, you would be knowing the next time you are getting. Then, once you have understood what are your triggers, then reframe your thought patterns, think in a positive manner, and actually ask yourself certain questions. Whether the situation is it really true or is it really untrue? What is the evidence that thought is true? Whatever you are thinking is true or untrue? Think about that. Is there a more positive or realistic way of looking at the situation? I should not always think that the things are always conspiring against you. They may be positive also. What would I say to a friend who was thinking these things? So think of a friend who, if he would be or she would be in that situation, what suggestion would I give to them? Think in that manner. Learn ways to cool down quickly. You may have seen certain people in your vicinity or at your workplace, in your family. You must have seen that they are always able to handle situations really well. But I am getting angry at this situation. And when you see that person at your workplace or your home, they are able to handle it differently, keeping their calm. So you can take inspiration from them. You can think from inside. If that person would be there in this situation, how would they behave? And you can actually behave like them in that manner. So you actually imitate them in your mind and then behave in that manner. This meeting may end any time. If it gets ended, then please log in again with the same link. What are the ways to cool down? Focus on the physical sensations, as we have already seen the physical signs that were there, our physical signs, and then take some deep breaths. With deep breaths, I would like to let us do this exercise of deep breathing. I would like you to do the belly breathing. Do not breathe like your chest is expanding. Breathe like your belly is coming out and going in. If somebody is unmuted, please mute yourself. Vanita, ma'am. Okay, I've done. Take deep breaths where your belly is expanding and going in. Do not concentrate on chest expansion. Put a hand on your chest and put another hand on your navel, and then see that your belly should expand. Slow breathing. Whenever you are in a certain situation that is upsetting to you, I request you just do not act all of a sudden. Start, remember of taking deep breaths and take some time, a few seconds to think over. Or if it is really upsetting, just make an excuse of going to washroom or to wash your face, or just get away from that situation for a few seconds. In the meanwhile, just do your thinking that I am supposed to find a better way to deal with this situation. Just get away from that situation for a few seconds, and those few seconds will give you something, some solution better than getting it. You can also do brisk walk to release that pent up energy. Use your senses, connect to your senses, listen to your favorite music, look at a treasured photo, have your favorite eatable, or stroke a pet. Whatever makes you happy, do that. Just soothe your senses. Stretch or massage areas of tension. We cannot do it right now, but Jacobson's muscle relaxation exercises are there on YouTube, wherein you can are stressing your every body part from your face to your toes. So you are stressing and then you are relaxing, stretching and relaxing every body part. It is many videos are there of these Jacobson's muscle relaxation. Please follow that. That is really helpful. Slowly count to 10 in that situation, and your mind, as I've already told, take a few seconds break from that situation and think of something. Now give yourself a reality check. Ask these questions. How important is it in the grand scheme of things? Is it really worth getting angry about? Is it worth ruining the rest of my day? Is my response appropriate to the situation? Is there anything I can do about it? Is taking action worth my time? Just think these questions and you'll find that it is not really important to act in that manner. There could be another solution to it. Find healthier ways to express your anger. Always fight fair rather than just dominating and getting your things done. Just fight fair. Respect others' demands too. Make the relationship your priority rather than winning the argument. Do not play a blame game, rather you make I statements. I would like it this way. If this is done this way, I would prefer it. So make I statements rather than just putting the blame on others. So you would have long-term relationships in that way. Even if you are with some strangers or in your families, this would build a long-term connection with everyone. Focus on the present. Do not mix past grievances and don't assign blame. Do what you can to solve the problem. Be forgiving. I know it's not easy. Forgiving is not easy for everyone. It's a tough task, but we can learn to be compassionate with others. And not forgiving is basically it affects me only. If I am not forgiving somebody and I am thinking and thinking what wrong they have done to me, it affects my health only. My immunity is going down. I am getting sleepless nights. I am feeling that pain. That person has done that once, but I am thinking and thinking about it again and again. So playing that situation again in my mind and making it basically उसका size इतना बड़ा कर देते हैं कि वो उतना बड़ा किसी ने हमको damage नहीं किया जितना हम उसको खुद कर देते हैं. So it's always better to let go. Take 5 if get things to hit it. As I said, take a few minutes break and come back by the time you find certain solution. Know when to let something go. If you are not in an agreement with the other person, then agree to disagree and move on. Not every situation can be solved in the way I want it. So let go. Stay calm by taking care of yourself. In the last, who is the most important person? It's me only. So I have to take care of myself, my soul, my peace. Manage your stress by practicing relaxation techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing. Talk to someone you trust. Not everyone we trust, so find someone who is a good listener. And at the same time, to manage our anger, we also have to become good listener. We also have to be attentive when someone is talking to us, whether they are actually trying to hurt our ego or they are giving their perspective. So be a good listener also and find a good listener for yourself. Get enough sleep, because when we don't get sleep, another day becomes very irritable and we are very irritated. So when someone approaches us, we are not in a good mood. Exercise regularly, that really helps a lot. Be smart about alcohol and drugs, even caffeine. If you want to use it, take limited. Use humor to relieve tension. That is the best solution. Try to be humorous in situations. And laugh with others, don't laugh at others. That would become sarcastic. Avoid sarcasm and mean-spirited humor. If you have done certain mistake, just try to make a joke of it. That would reduce the tension and the anger in the air, and you would build a greater connection and intimacy. If even after all these things, you think that you cannot help yourself, seek professional help, go to people, but please do manage it. Do not keep it to yourself. It would hamper your health only and your relationships only, and the damage once done is recovered really, is not recovered easily. Take anger management classes, go for individual therapy if you are in need. I want you to please note down on a piece of paper or notebook, whatever you have, if you are agreed or disagreed or unsure about these statements, and please share in the chat box. Thank you, Meena Johanna. Thank you so much. Please, if you are agree or disagree or unsure about these statements, when I'm angry, there is nothing I can do to change or stop this. Are you agreed, disagreed, or unsure? Please write down. I recognize when I am about to lose my temper. I know what makes me angry and can plan for potential risk situations. Thinking positively can change the way I behave. If you